Welcome, everyone, to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. Now, you might be asking yourself, Chris, what the hell is a hot take? Well, it's when we sit down in a basement in the Delaware County area with a few friends and talk about a movie, game, or TV show. Today, we're talking about a game, but we're doing something different today. We're talking about a throwback game, actually, to last year, a little Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, depending on where you live. I, of course, am your host, Chris Trio. Joining me today, Mr. Nick Matarazzo.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back. We appreciate you coming in. This is a game I've actually kind of wanted to talk about for a while. I'm not going to lie. I was sad that we missed the opportunity to review it last year. I love horror games. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely. I especially like, I don't know. I do love horror games, but I especially love like survival horror games.
They're the I do. Yeah. I think they're the best too. And this one, Resident Evil 7, I think does a really good job of kind of mixing survival with you still have a weapon though.
Yeah.
And I guess they always did that, right?
I do think it's such a great blend of like the newer type of like run and hide like survival horror game where it's not even survival, it's more just like purely trying to freak you out and hiding and stuff. Combining that with like old school Resident Evil of like getting items to progress through this like set map and stuff.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
They do a really cool job, and it makes you really... It's a game that makes you think about your resources a lot, which I like too. Like, you have limited resources on guns, or not guns, I should say ammo, and like certain weapons, and like, you have a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Like, that thing does like nothing, and...
It really, like, there's... Especially towards the beginning of the game, it really makes you feel like I'm, like, very much on the receiving end of, like...
Of all this shit.
Yeah, like, I towards the end, you feel more powerful, like, which is, like... I think a good like that progression thing for like any sense. Type of game like that.
Definitely.
But yeah, like it's I think it handles it really well with that kind of stuff.
100%. And I mean the one flaw I give it is maybe the enemy stuff gets a little repetitive from time to time. Obviously the molded.
Did you see there actually was like there was one time, it's weird because they only did it one time, but there was a time when they Resident Evil's Twitter tweeted out it was like some hashtag, but it was like a workshopped like canceled molded design.
Okay,
I'd have to show it to you.
Does it look like a more personish?
Yeah, well, no, kind of. It's just it's a design of like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's like because there's the crawlers, then the walkers.
Yeah, the only three types in the game really were like the crawling ones, the just regular walking guys, ones, and like the bigger guys.
More boss-oriented person. Yeah.
And then like the actual boss and stuff. But no, there was this one they were showing. I forget what they called it, but the image was like this weird thing where it was just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it looked like it was like phasing in and out. Like it looked like it could kind of like teleport and stuff. But they said it was like part of a series of things they'd be releasing. So I think they had a ton of different like molded designs that just didn't make it into the game.
Yeah, just concepts that they came up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things are when they get up in your face. You're like, oh shit! Like you want to get away.
I know it still is crazy, and it's like I played through it when I first got it. I was so obsessed with it that I played through it so many different times, and like the interactions with them are like never. They're not like never the same. They're in the same spots and stuff. Definitely. But they're definitely like
it's
super
still
unpredictable.
Scary.
Yeah. Like it's good.
Yeah, I give them credit for having like a more limited like enemy design, but still it being scary. Yeah, too, definitely. And one thing I really think that they do a good job about in this game is like making you know the house.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're going through it so many times, and like I feel like someone said this on a podcast I listened to, but they're like, I feel like I could draw a map of this house just on my hand, on the back of my hand, like without even looking at it.
Yeah, I towards the end, because I did the one of the trophies in it is to speedrun the game and like in like under 4 hours or something, which sounds crazy, but when you do it, it's like really not that insane.
Yeah, it's probably. But is there a difficulty?
Yeah, no, I think you can do that on easy. I think,
that's
which is like
sweet.
It's not that bad. And so I did that, and like once that was the last one I did because I did Madhouse before it, which was like my favorite way to play the game. It's like really fun, but during the speedrun I knew like everything, but that was such a good thing about the first time playing it, like passing by a door with like passing by like the scorpion door or something and be like,
what the hell is that? Yeah,
like,
know
there's
now.
A symbol on it. I picked up a key at scorpion, like I'll go back there.
And they do bring back all those, like that's an old style trope from Resident Evil games, right? Like the scorpion doors.
It almost was. I played Resident Evil 1 afterward because I tried to play Resident Evil 1 before, but I like kind of fell off from it. And then like I got really into Resident Evil after I played 7, and I went back and played a ton of them. And when I played 1, the setup is so similar, where it's just you're in this house and like there's these marked doors and you get a key. It's like
I was replaying. They remastered that, right?
Yeah,
I think it came with Resident Evil when I got it, or it was free on PlayStation. Yeah, I started playing that a little bit,
it was free.
and I was like, this is really akin to that, and I think that's why it works so well.
It's weird because I think it works both ways. Where because I hadn't played it, it being new to me was really cool and stuff. But I think if you had played it, like seeing it again done in like a more new take would also be really cool.
That is cool. And I mean, Resident Evil. The last Resident Evil game I played before this one was when I was like, what was it, Resident Evil 6 maybe? Resident Evil 5 when it was super action oriented and stuff like that. And I remember it was back when I would get stuck on parts in games and not be able to beat. I got to this boss and I was like, I can't beat him. Screw this. I'm not playing this game anymore. But one thing I really like in Resident Evil 7 are the boss fights. Some of them are a little Madhouse. So I tried playing that. I beat it twice before I went in to do Madhouse, and I did it, and I got to the one boss fight where it's the gigantic. It's what's his name?
Jack.
Yeah. And he's all mutated and blah blah blah. And I got there and I literally can't beat him.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
That's pretty far in though.
And I know I got far, and I did like that setting where you need to get like tapes to save and stuff like that. It makes it even more survival.
Because that's how it was in 1. You had to get the like ink blot things for the typewriter to save and stuff.
Oh, that is cool.
But
I like
think
that mechanic.
I do think it's a bummer that because I think that game mode is so good at Madhouse because especially with the saving stuff because it even though you never really come to a point when you run out of saves and stuff.
No.
But like it's still more nerve wracking just thinking like what if I did.
100%. And if you're careless about your saves, 100%, I feel like you could.
Yeah.
Run out. But
I think it's such a bummer that first all the boss fights are really hard, like maybe too hard on Madhouse, but especially that first one with Mia, I had to like go on YouTube and look up how to beat it.
You have to like me a while.
You have to get it like perfect. Like you have to like,
shoot her in the head every time. You can't waste a bullet. I
know, it's crazy. It's like it sucks that's so hard because it's right at the beginning. No, it probably turns people off.
And even like the first Jack fight, that one gets me because like did you play this in VR at all?
No, I didn't. I wish
I did too. But like. There's the fight with Jack, the first one, you're in like this garage, and it's so like he's on top of you all the time. And like you turn around, he's right there. You got to keep shooting at him. And I think that they did do a good job with the boss fights and the fact of they're pretty different. I mean, not totally different, but pretty different from each other most of the time.
I agree. And then it's also I like how there's callbacks to like old because it's like most of the fights are like new kind of stuff like especially like the Margaret fight with the weird
Marguerite,
spider stuff and like everything like that, but like the callbacks with the Jack fight, how he has the giant like orange eyes like every other like Resident Evil game.
I thought that was cool.
Really cool.
Speaking of the family, what'd you think about like the whole family in general, just that atmosphere?
I thought it was really good because it felt like cheesy over the top like old Resident Evils, but simultaneously like horrifying and like just like when you're like outside, like if you told people like what was going on, like as like if you were reading on Wikipedia, you'd be like, oh, this sounds stupid and weird. But in the game, the atmosphere is so like overbearing, and you're just like, it's great.
They do an awesome job. Like just from that first scene of where you wake up in the house and it's after Jack's taking you, obviously, and you wake up at the table and it's just this fucked up family sitting around you, and they set the tone so well for that, just like southern. I don't know how to describe it.
Like
that
Texas
type of horror,
type thing. Yeah.
And they fucking nail it to a T. Everything in this game looks awesome. Like the textures and everything. Like you look at like the wood paneling on the floor and everything, and I think it looks awesome. And like all the just little stuff. But when it gets to like the family's faces and when they're talking and stuff, I'm like, all right, guys, we could have fixed.
Yeah, it is a bummer, but at the same time, like. I don't think it takes away from it too much.
100%. Yeah.
Like it would be cool. I'm assuming that they didn't have like a crazy budget for this game anyway.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because like Resident Evil was kind of like down in the dumps. Like people hated 6.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people were turned off by 5.
Yeah.
So like they probably this is honestly probably like a last chance situation.
That's true. And they were like, all right, we're gonna give this budget and figure it out.
And they totally knocked it out of the park. Like they did like I think it's such a good like revival of what it used to be and stuff.
Dude,
like, it's awesome.
It totally is. And like I said, I guess what disappoints me about that is because like you see all these amazing textures and you see how good like just you're walking down a hallway and you're like, this is fucking creepy. And like I'm just like, oh man, I wish they could have just nailed those faces a little bit more.
Yeah, I know.
But
that's why I really
it's definitely a small gripe.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't think about it too much. But that's why I really hope they get to make an 8 or like something like that.
I hope. How did this do sales wise? Do you know?
I know it sold at least like 1 million copies. I'm not like entirely positive, but I think it was like I think it was for like what people would expect, like better than expected.
Totally.
But for what what Capcom would expect.
They have crazy stupid.
I know it's dumb. It was underwhelming for them. But like I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope they don't. I hope they don't like read into that too much and let them give it another shot.
Well, I mean,
because I like love this game so much.
Dude, I do too, and I feel like it was very well critically.
Yeah, for sure,
acclaimed and such. And I mean, everyone I talk to who likes these types of games and who has played it has fond things to say about it for the most part. I feel like. What else did I want to talk about? So Marguerite. She, I think, was the creepiest.
Oh my god, easily. That one moment is probably like what sticks in my head the most from the first time playing it. Yeah. When it sucks because you can miss it if you're not like paying attention enough. But it's the moment when you get up out of that like pit and you have to go back for the lamp and you see like the giant arm
grabs.
Dude, it's like insane.
It's so creepy.
That was
man.
like the craziest part.
Because she grabs her lamp, right? You're like, oh, you got to grab the lamp, and then you're about to go down.
Yeah, and then just like leading up to that whole fight after that, like after you see the arm, you're like, what the fuck is she gonna look like when I
you're like, what's going on? And,
yeah, no, it's awesome. I love that. That's like one of my favorite parts of the whole game. Like,
dude,
it's
it
so
totally.
Good.
And she's akin to like very buggy. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it's like insect like yeah.
And that shit gets to me. Like,
yeah, and it like ties. It also kind of ties in like it's like a loose thing, but like it kind of ties in with like all of the stuff when you're in that like one house is like kind of her house. Like, that's where you go around. And there's like bugs everywhere in there and stuff too.
Yeah. I did really like the different section, like the different, like you're on a compound almost. Yeah. You're not in just one house.
Honestly, the only one, and I still like it. Like I like the whole game. I overall I do. But the only moments that I thought were weaker, specifically within the house, not like any ship stuff or anything. But the Lucas part in like
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. That was one of the only moments that. For me, like, kind of detracted from, like, the atmosphere. Especially when you're in, like, the barn thing and it plays, like, the weird, like, I don't know how what am I looking what word am I looking for? Like
the weird
it's like metal music, but it's like unregistered. Like it's like
yeah, I get what
you know
what
I mean. I don't know what
I don't
it's
know
like
how to
public access like, music. Like it's like free music. I don't know. It took away because it's like he's like announcing it, and I have to fight these two big things, which was annoying. It was an annoying fight in general, especially when I was playing it again on Madhouse. And like every time
when they come down the elevator. Right?
Yeah. And every time I went back and played the game again, because I played through it like 5 or 6
times.
I'm
replaying it right now. Actually,
really, yeah.
Which is fun.
But every time I get to that part, I'm like, man, like this is kind of like not as good.
And definitely, I think that comes from Lucas being the weakest of the family characters.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's weird because everywhere I read, people seem to like think he's the most interesting. But I think that's only because he gets away in the end. And
that's true. He's the only one that gets.
Yeah, and he has connections to like Umbrella or like whatever. Yeah. I forget what it was, but like if there's some sort of like terrorist organization that like it was I forget what it was.
See, I wanted to look more.
I wish I could have played again right before we did this because I haven't played it in like a year.
I was thinking the same. That's why I just happened to be playing, so I was like, oh, this kind of refreshed me on it.
Yeah,
and got me back.
If you asked me about anything about it, like a month after it came out, I would have been able to tell you like I was so obsessed with this game, which is why I'm bummed that I didn't get to play it in VR because I did like everything else.
Seriously, I wish I could get like a cheap VR headset to do that.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. There's only one way for me to do it. Like, is it on is the VR exist on PC yet or like?
I mean, you got like Vives and stuff like that.
No, I mean, but like specifically for Resident Evil. I don't know if because I think they had to like actually release it on its own. I'm pretty sure it came out without it.
Did I don't know. That would be. I'd actually be curious to know that.
Yeah.
But who else did I want to talk about? So there's one they have like a grandma.
Oh yeah,
following you around the whole time.
That was one of my favorite parts of it.
Of the whole thing, you're like, there's just this old lady in a wheelchair. She can move her head, so she looks at you, but like you'll just go to a different part of the house and she'll just be there.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the fuck?
The one moment when you're like finally coming back up from the basement after that boss fight, she's right around the corner. That was like that got me so bad, and it's playing like lightly playing the one song they used for like Go Tell Aunt Rosie. They used it for the commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that like got me so bad when I first played it. That's like one of my favorite like just small additions that like it pays off in the end too.
Totally. I can't stress enough how much the atmosphere though really does just kick ass in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was the other part I wanted to talk about? There was one other boss thing, but it's gone.
Was it the very last boss?
I think yes. So you get it is definitely one place where it kind of goes downhill for me in this game, and not totally. I still enjoyed it, but is when we get on the ship.
Oh, okay,
and I don't know.
For me, Why don't if you have
No,
something to say?
Go ahead.
For me, the ship when you're playing as it depends if we're doing spoilers. Are we just spoiling stuff? Like
Yeah, I think we're going spoiler deep now.
okay.
Spoiler. Cover your ears, Gooch.
When you play as Mia in like the flashback stuff, I thought that was really interesting and cool. But when you have to go through it again as Ethan, I thought that was super boring. Like not super boring, but like.
And I don't know. I guess I just loved that house setting so much.
It takes you out of it completely.
Yeah, when you do that change, you're like, oh, man, I really liked what we were doing with that house and everything. And there's certain parts where I'm just like, all right, there's a lot of molded around here, and I don't have a lot of weapons, and I guess that's the point of it. But I'm just like, this is tough, and I'm on normal, and I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, yeah, it's fine, and it kind of detracts. That's where you kind of start getting more of like what the reason for all this is happening, and I do think there's a good payoff, and there's a lot of not a lot, but a good connection to the old Resident Evils. I'd say, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought it was like people got really upset about how it connected to it for like just like visual reasons and stuff, but like I don't know. For me it worked just because like I don't know. It's spoiler stuff.
So yeah, no, I mean I feel Gooch.
I tuned out, so like
we're gonna. I mean, all right. So I'm a little confused. So the virus, what it is, right?
Yeah.
I assume. And so what's her name?
Well, this is like a new. I think that this like E virus, like the Evelyn thing, is like a new thing, like almost entirely unconnected to like
the
any
T-virus
or anything from the old ones. But Umbrella is like trying to, which I don't know. I want another game because I don't know how much I believe everything. But like now,
of course, these are people extrapolating, of course.
Yeah. But like now, Umbrella is supposedly like trying to like reclaim their good name and like actually take down like bioterrorist stuff. You kind of learn more about it in the
Not
DLC.
A hero.
Yeah. But like I don't know how much I believe it because they were like evil, like in the canon of the game in 6, which is like the weirdest fake it. Like I don't know, but if you're going by that, like they were evil like 3 years before 7. So like I don't know how like they could, but they could just
I'm curious because like we don't know if this is like a soft reboot or a total because it definitely I guess it can't be a total reboot because obviously you see Chris Redfield at the end
when they ask but when they ask about like when people who created the game, I forget who the main director is, but when they asked him about like if it's connected to old ones, it's apparently just like in it. Like there's no like new reboot stuff about it. It's just the characters look different, but it's still the same. So it's still same universe. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I guess what might have helped me there is if I knew more about Resident Evil background stuff.
Yeah, that's why there isn't too much to know anyway because they don't delve to like really the major extent of the old Resident Evil stuff in this game is the fact that Umbrella's back and different now, and the fact that Chris Redfield is in it.
Yeah.
And then
so in the old ones, Chris Redfield was he an Umbrella guy?
Yeah. No.
He was the good guy.
I think he like worked with. If I'm remembering it right, I could be botching it because the only Resident Evil games I've played is 1, 4, 5, and 7.
Full disclaimer: we do not know everything about Resident Evil.
Yeah, absolutely. But from what I remember, I mean, in the beginning, like Wesker is. I could be totally botching it. From what I know, like Wesker is like the head of Umbrella eventually, and he's like the main villain, which is true. I know that for a fact. But Chris like worked with him in the first game, and then they find out he's evil, and then from then on he like hates Umbrella and stuff.
Yeah.
So like which is why people are really questioning everything too, because he's in Umbrella now and he like totally hated it. But at the same time, that's why I thought the DLC was weird because I guess we could talk about that too.
Yeah, we don't. Again,
The DLC is weird because all the way leading up to it, everybody was expecting it to be like Chris is like
tissue. Almost.
Yeah, and for it to explain why Chris would join with Umbrella and stuff. But like in the DLC, he's just like apprehensive. Like once or twice, he's like, I don't know why. Like I don't know, should I be trusting you guys?
Should I be doing this? Well, yeah.
And that's like it. And it's like
all right, Chris. Thanks, man.
I think the DLC overall was like I guess I shouldn't have expected much because the main game was so solid. I couldn't be disappointed.
And it was free. Well, that one anyways.
Yeah, that one was free. And weirdly enough, that was like the best one in my opinion.
Really?
And still, it wasn't great. But
did you find it? I told this to Gooch. His hand looks super like sausagey and bad.
No, I agree. Yeah, there's especially because when you're using the unless I'm remembering it wrong, when you use the knife, and then when you use
his hand looks so weird.
I also think it looks really weird when you use the assault rifle and it's like you can see his hand like up here too.
It's so odd. I'm like, what are we doing? And then when he goes to push a door, I'm like, dude, I think your hand's swollen. I think you should get that checked out.
I think they got like in over their head with that because the
They
game
must have, because that was supposed to come out earlier, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to. The game ends, like the regular game ends, and then it says like not a hero coming like spring or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they had to delay it until like fall or something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think they wanted because they delayed it to apparently like make it a lot bigger. But at the same time, I feel like they did make it a lot bigger, but they also couldn't polish it like the way they wanted to and stuff.
Yeah.
And also like you haven't finished it, but nothing interesting happens
really.
at all.
There's
yeah.
I mean, honestly, what happened? Like, you can tell me. I don't even care. I know you're going there to take down what's his name.
That's literally all that happens. You go, if I can remember. Even worse is the. I honestly would recommend you literally never play the other DLC.
Really?
The what is it called?
There's the one where you're like
Zoey is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Honestly, all the DLCs that came out after those last two were a lot better because they were like it was like each one would come with a couple like fun mini games and then it would be like one story thing and both of those were kind of cool but they were really short.
So the end of Zoey one was okay.
I thought the end of Zoey one was like actually really bad.
Really?
Yeah, because it's you play as this like no name like. Not no name, but like has a name, but like out of nowhere name is more of the term I'm looking for. This like uncle in their family, I think it was. It's like Jack's brother, who just doesn't appear at all in the regular game, and you play as him, and you're like saving Zoey from where she was in the regular game, and you only use your fist in it, and it totally. To me, it's so bad. To me, it totally like detracts from the main game because like what we were talking about, the main game, the atmosphere is so good. I'm hiding around every corner.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these things. I'm like, oh fuck, they're gonna kill me. I have a gun. I'm still scared.
Yeah.
In this game, you're literally doing like combos on them, and like their heads fucking explode with like you're just punching them, and their heads are like exploding. And he's like, yeah, you son of a bitch. And he's not scared. And I'm like, who the fuck is this?
And that's that's such a good point though. That like. The game, you do feel scared even though you have a gun. So when you're not doing them,
it totally like doesn't make any sense to me because it's like the whole game I'm scared. I have like a big shotgun and shit, and then in this game I'm like exploding their heads.
Well,
with
like
my
that's the
bare
thing.
fist.
Like you'll be sitting outside a room with a gun and it's pitch black, and you'll just hear like like in the dark room. You're like, I don't want to go in there. Like that's awful.
But in that DLC, if I had heard that, I would have like been ready to like punch this kid in the head. Like it's so dumb. And there's also some really dumb story shit in it that I don't.
So is it set before? I assume,
it's set after. No.
Oh, it's
after. Yeah, because it's you're saving Zoey. It's like way after. Like it's like a couple weeks after the game.
So Zoe's still stuck there after the end of the game.
There's honestly, I will spoil the whole thing for you because it's super worthless.
Do it. I don't. Yeah.
It's so fucking dumb. You play as this dude. You're saving Zoey with some sort of like in the past 2 weeks after the game ended, Umbrella like kind of came up with like a cure for this virus, and you're like you wake up in like some cabin with like you get Zoey whatever, and then you are fighting a bunch of Umbrella dudes for like no reason because they're like on your side. And then you're also taking down these like the molded very easily with your fist, which again is stupid.
Of course, just.
But you then come across this like swamp monster dude, and that's like a big fist fight. Like it's like more.
You
of
want to
like
fucking throw down, swamp monster?
Like actually, but then like 20 more minutes of more gameplay of just punching them in the head goes by, and then you meet up with the swamp monster again, and then you like rip his face off and find out that it's Jack, and he's somehow alive again. Which is fucking so dumb. And then you find the way they explain it away is you literally go to like towards the end you go to this like umbrella facility and you find this document that's like, oh, only Jack for some reason has the ability to just completely regenerate himself. And like it's obviously just made up to bring him back. Yeah, it's so dumb. And then you literally the worst part it's not the worst part. I think the worst part is what I said before with the punching. But another annoying part is that you find this like umbrella charge up glove that you like put on.
It's like a
and
power fist.
You can like fucking one shot like everything in the game with this dumb like power fist. And that again is explained by like, oh, Umbrella uses this to like move big boxes. And I was like, what is this?
To move big boxes.
And he's like, and also this like redneck dude who lives in like the woods gets it, and he's like, oh hell yeah, like he just like knows what it is and uses it to like explode.
Oh, power here? Let's go.
Definitely don't give that one.
All right,
money.
well,
it's so bad.
Let's put it this way: if I see the pass on sale for like $10, maybe I'll pick it up.
It's honestly worth. it's worth a playthrough if it's cheap as hell and you
And
have
just to
like
get
some
the laughs
friends
out,
with you,
yeah.
and like just to like laugh at it because it's so dumb.
That is honestly hilarious.
Playing it by myself was like a nightmare because I was just like, the more I played it, the more I was like,
You're just getting
how is this
so
real?
mad at that.
It was like crazy.
The fist fighting gets me.
Yeah,
oh,
no, it's
my
so weird.
God.
But the other DLCs, like the ones in the past, because that's not even in the past. That's
Yeah.
a separate thing.
Yeah.
Or I might be wrong. I think you get it with the past, but
No,
don't remember.
I thought you got that with the past.
Yeah. But either way, the other stuff in the past, like they're really short little story things. Like there's one where you play through the night that Evelyn like showed up at the house. And that one's really cool. It's
That's
only like
actually interesting.
That's only like a half hour long, but it's still pretty interesting and cool. And you see the family start to like warp out and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
That's okay.
And then-
That sounds cool. That sounds really cool.
And then there's another one where you play as one of the dudes. You remember the dudes who were like filming
yeah,
stuff
like
before,
this,
in the demo and everything?
Yeah.
You play as one of those
Like
guys who
Paranormal
got
Investigator
like
guys?
yeah. You play as one of those guys who got captured by Margaret and stuff, and you're like tied to
a bed. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I thought was really cool.
That's
too.
like a mini game. Like don't wake Mark or don't wake.
Yeah, but it's
like,
it's like the other ones are more mini game, like actually like funny and stuff. But this one is more like story, like kind of like it feels more real than just like like do this weird
like just
stuff.
it's just a fun mini game to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, one other thing I did want to talk about that I really liked in the main game was the use of the videotapes.
I
I actually
awesome.
really like them. Like it kind of was this little demo of like, all right, you're not at this point yet, but when you are, this is going to teach you something you need to know.
Yeah.
Or I mean, and you don't have to watch them. I'm pretty sure you can just, except for the first one that gets that trigger stuff.
I do think that's really cool. You don't have to check them out at all.
So like you could get to this part and be like, oh, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and
Yeah.
like there's a part with Marguerite in particular that I'm thinking of that like you see a videotape of Mia going through this part, and like you might not know.
Yeah.
Exactly where things are at or how this thing works if you didn't do that.
And that one's also super creepy when you're going through like.
And
as
she's
her
like
and
she's
stuff.
like she's yelling. She's
That
like,
was one
we
of the
opened our home.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
That was like one of the first things they showed off about the game. Not one of the first things, but when they first started showing off gameplay, I remember one of them was like a quick like 2-minute thing. It was like lantern gameplay, and it was that tape.
Mm-hmm.
That was that actually it's not. It's like kind of related, but there's one trophy in the game which I think was like. Not extremely hard, but it was annoying, was you have to beat the game. I did it simultaneously with the speedrun one.
Yeah.
You have to beat the game with only opening the item box like 4 times. And
that would be tough.
I messed it
For, like,
up.
certain things, like that would be bitch.
Just like experimenting with it a little bit. Because there's like 2 times in the game when you have to open it.
Yeah.
So that like
those
fucks
are your
you.
2.
So
yeah.
there's 2. You only have 2
yeah.
left. And the first time I did it, I got like 2 hours in and just messed it up. Because I picked up one of the tapes. And like I wasn't thinking, and I wanted to put it back because it was wasting a spot.
Yeah,
and then like whatever.
Oh, nah,
but then like the next time I beat the game in like 2 like hours, like 50 minutes or something, without opening it like more than like 3 times.
All right.
But it wasn't that tough. But yeah, the tapes going back to the tapes, so that stuff's really cool. I think it's a really cool game mechanic to like teach you stuff while also like giving some
backstory
yeah,
and such. Yeah. But I mean, I'm trying to think. Anything else?
I don't know. I mean. I guess all I could say is that like it was like my favorite game last year. Like,
Definitely, yeah. I'd say it's one of, if not my favorite, of last year as well.
Yeah, it's like it could be like one of my favorite
head.
games ever. Like I just totally like got obsessed with it. It's like I haven't done that since I did it with Persona 5 like a month later actually, so like it's not a big deal, but still
whatever,
like
though.
yeah, but I like got so obsessed with that game, and I just think like I love the game design of it. I love like the pacing and just like the way the game flows together and stuff, and
Totally.
like I guess that's all I'll say.
Yeah,
like it's
I
just
mean,
such a great game.
I can only echo what you're saying. Yeah, that atmosphere is killer. It's awesome. I just love the way your inventory system works. Just overall, I think that they did a really good job with this game. And I like you said, I hope that they do an 8th one. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Oh no, it's
I'd be actually just curious to know, like, because I want to say it sold fine, but it didn't meet Capcom's expectations because they had fucking astronomical weird.
Actually, Trio, I'll come in at you.
please.
As of September 30th, they surpassed their sales with 4.1 million units sold.
Oh my god!
So they made their number.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
As
So
of-
I think we'll see one then.
Yeah.
I'd hope so anyway.
Yeah. And there is no VR on the PC. It's
Oh,
only
really?
PS4.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that
kind of
does make
thought it
sense.
was because I've never heard of anyone else playing it other than PS4.
Yeah, same.
No, it does make.
And it
makes
was like
sense.
the big advertiser for PS4, like PSVR stuff.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah,
like, the number
one of the
thing.
things I wanted to ask you, but like it's pretty much been answered, and I think it's obvious. Like I want to get into Resident Evil as like a series, but like I was like, okay, like a lot of them are fucking remastered, which I'm very surprised,
Yeah.
or on PS4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I might as well just start with 7, the newest, because
agree.
you
I
know.
think that's fine. I think
Yeah.
if you wanted to start with one, just based off pure fun and accessibility, like just being able to play it in like the modern age and stuff, I
This is the way
think
to go.
7 or 4 is the way to go.
Because then I literally have to check through the entire series, and I'm
And I
talking
just don't
playing
think there's
Zero
enough connective tissue
and
to
Code
make
Ver-
it worth it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Code Veronica, yeah.
If you really
Like-
like the story, which I started to, like, I one day when I get access to it, I'm probably gonna wait for the 2 remake that's still being made, which like probably will never come out, but like I'm gonna wait for that.
There was something about that recently, wasn't there?
Kind of. There's like always little hints at it, but there's never they announced it like 2 years ago or something, and like
Is
there's never
2
been
Nemesis? No, it's 3.
Oh no, that's 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 is just called Resident Evil 2, I think. But yeah, I think if you wanted to play a Resident Evil game and stuff, like 7 and 4 are so much fun and so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Four-
yeah.
4 I'd love
And
to
it-
try.
4
And I-
Is that
dude,
remastered?
if you guys both haven't played 4, yeah.
Okay.
It's not really remastered,
But
but
it's-
but
yeah.
the original version of the game is like perfect. Like that's a game that I think will hold up like for like once you get used to the controls of like how weird the aiming is.
Is
and
it
stuff.
older style controls? Yeah.
Not really, because it's not like tank controls, but it's like the way it works is that you move like. You can't move and shoot or move and aim.
Okay.
Like you move and then you press the aim button and you stop in place and like there's this laser sight and you like do this. It's kind of
I think
like,
I know. I think. I know
but
what
it's
you're saying.
once you get used to it, it's one of the most fun games like
Really?
ever. Like it's just so good.
All right.
Yeah, like I know the
Okay,
story
fair
like
enough.
generally well, to the point where like I know who stars
Well,
are,
Mila Jovovich is
and like
somewhere trying to
yeah.
somewhere.
Dude, I never saw that last movie, and I want to see it.
Have
You
you
know
seen
what,
like
one of my
most of them?
fa-
All of them.
There was-
Wow, I've never seen. I've seen the first one.
Dude, the first one is fucking good.
I haven't watched it
I mean,
since
they're
I was way
enjoyable.
younger.
Actually,
The first
I
one
heard
i-
this one's not that great.
Rewatch the first one, and you'll be like, "Wow,
I
this
heard
is like
there's,
really good."
I heard there's like a ton of in the newer one. There's a ton of because the first one it's like its thing on its own. Like it's not really involved with the video game at
Yeah.
all. Like it's
Not
like,
really.
It's kind
no.
of just
Has
its own
it's followed
story,
some
like
of the same
using like
stories.
yeah.
like Wesker and shit like that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
kind of
pretty
just
sure.
like using the assets of like the old game to like
And kinda
make it
rework it,
whatever.
yeah.
But apparently the newer ones have like so many references to old games.
Um,
like literally like Leon from
I
4
think
like, shows up and
It's
like
No,
well, Revelations is like the one game, right?
That's the no Revelations.
no.
was the
Revelations.
newest
is
no,
there actually
it's
a
not.
movie
What
called
was-
Revelations?
one. I thought so.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah, there is.
Really? So they have a game,
I-
two games, and
I-
a movie named
I
Revelations?
could be wrong, but one of them
sworn-
is
I'm gonna-
Ada Wong and
Wow, that's so weird.
Alice. I think is that her name? Yeah. Yeah, Mila, whatever. Yeah, her character I think is Alice, and they go into this like umbrella compound, and it's Barry, Leon,
That's
and
so weird.
and like I think Chris Redfield is in it, but Chris Redfield is in other movies
Really?
too,
Yeah.
and they use
As, like, an
they
actual
use
character?
Jill,
Yeah, I think so.
they use Jill,
Okay.
and they kind of use characters here and there, but yeah, like the later ones like really dig deep.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, let's see, Resident Evil.
I would be interested to just like
Okay,
one time
so we
watch
got-
a ton of them.
Resident Evil, the final chapter, which was 2016, obviously. Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Retribution, Vendetta, Extinction, Afterlife, and Biohazard's the game. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I thought there was a Revelations movie too, but looks like we were wrong.
But yeah, I guess I think everybody I know, no game like I would suggest more to everybody I know than Resident Evil 4. That game is just so fun, like so like pure fun. Like there's like the item management
I'd love
in
to
it
check
is
it
so
out.
fun. Like the gameplay is so fun once you get used to it. And like I've started to like I've only done it 2 years in a row now, but like every October I'll just start it at the beginning because like it's just such a fun game
I
to
have some
play.
games like that.
And that's
He does the Halloween horror game
I do
thing.
but that's my only game. Unless because I played Soma last Halloween
How'd
too.
you like
Yeah.
Soma?
Soma's great, dude. That game's
fucking
awesome.
love Soma.
Yeah,
That's I think didn't we do a talk on that? Was it? I think me and Joey talked about it. No, we didn't. That was
I
in
know
the horror
Joey-
game
Joey
cast.
does
We
love
talked
that
about
game.
You guys did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we talked about it in our horror games cast. That was like one of our first.
Second
Joey's
one.
the
Yeah.
one who turned me on to that game. He loves that game.
Dude, it's
But
a lot of cool.
that
fucking
game is
stuff
one of my
in that game.
favorite like game endings like ever. That ending is so cool.
Such a mind fuck. Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
I really do like that. That's
But-
a whole nother cast though.
But yeah, that's another Resident Evil 4 is another game that's like get some like dudes together and like take turns just beating it, like pass the controller and
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
even that game though, like Las Plagas or whatever, like it doesn't really have anything to do with like the
yeah,
main
well
story, right?
that one is like the first one. Like they're all like contain stories kind of with references to their old thing like stuff after 4, but like I'm pretty sure like 1, 2, and 3 are pretty like connected, like a story that like flows on.
Yeah, yeah.
But 4 is totally fucking out of nowhere. Like it's in like Spain or some.
Yeah, it's in
like,
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 1 is Wesker Mansion, 2 is in Raccoon City as Leon, and 3 is.
Like,
I actually don't know.
Yeah, like Wesker doesn't even appear in 4. They mention him like twice, but he doesn't even appear in 4. And there's like other characters that will show up from it, but like it's really its own thing. Like it honestly is like I don't know how to explain. Like it's such a good contained its own thing. You don't have to play any of the other ones, and it's just so fun. Like and it's I think that's such a good game to just like just try and beat in like a weekend with your friends and like pass
just
the controller
enjoy it,
around. Yeah, it's so fun, dude.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, I would. That's like it's so good. And I don't know if I would pick it as 7 might be my favorite just because of how like hard I connected with it like recently and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
It's
like,
so fresh in your mind.
But 4 I think is the best out of the ones I've played.
All right.
1's great too.
I definitely
though.
would love to actually go back and check it out then. Honestly.
Yeah, it's great, and it's
Sounds
you
cool.
can get it for like I got it on Black Friday one time for like $10 on PS4.
Yeah.
Like you can
It's
get
nothing.
it like yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for us today. Thank you all for watching. If you've been watching live, thank you so much. You can find us on Facebook.com/DelcoNerdNetwork if you're already there. YouTube.com/DelcoNerdNetwork. Twitter and the Instagram @DelcoNerds. For Nick, I've been Trio. Thanks for joining us, guys. Stay nerdy.